This video is proudly sponsored by Gamersgate. Download games anytime, anywhere. Visit Gamersgate.com.
We gotta get back! Step right up! Step right up! You forgot how to use your horn? Have some respect for pedestrians! No driving privileges!
Big guns, huge explosions, intense car chases, daring heists, pulse-pounding getaways, sex, drugs, and, well, maybe not rock and roll. Grand Theft Auto V is an amazing package crammed with so much adrenaline-fueled thumb twitchery, it makes the $60 price tag feel like a steal. There is more than enough content to keep most gamers glued to their consoles for a little while, save for a few nitpickers, and of course, people whose knee-jerk reaction is to hate anything popular. GTA 5 pushes the limits of current generation hardware, and fans of the series will no doubt find a lot to love with Rockstar's latest super criminal fantasy sim. Yes, there are times when the game can be controversial. No, it is not a perfect game, and no, children should not be allowed anywhere near it. But my gosh, are we addicted, and it feels really good. Grand Theft Auto V is the story of three professional thieves who are brought together through circumstance. Michael, the washed-out high school football star, comes out of hiding to resurrect his glory days of heisting jewels. Trevor, Michael's former partner, is a very unbalanced sociopath who enjoys bathing in blood almost as much as he does showering in dollars. He can best be described as Beetlejuice mixed with the Joker, both in personality and delivery. Franklin is the youngest of the three and relatively inexperienced when it comes to larger heists. Most of his criminal activities up until meeting Michael and Trevor involved stealing cars and knocking over convenience stores. Together, the three blow past minor mayhem, such as filching a few automobiles. They abscond with millions of dollars from the city's most secure locations, and manage to anger everyone from Chinese mobsters to the highest three-letter government agencies. For those new to the GTA series, Grand Theft Auto V is a massively open world set in the city of Los Santos and the surrounding Blaine County. You are immediately given access to the entire map. Pocked across the landscape are assorted missions you can take part in, like skydiving, mountain biking, competing in races, hunting, bounty hunting, visiting strip clubs, tricking out your favorite cars, playing some darts, buying new clothes, getting a tattoo or three, investing in real estate, investing in the stock market, helping random strangers in need in the side of the road. You get the picture. To progress the story, players can pick any of the three main characters, if they're all unlocked, and visit the designated areas on the map where character interactions take place. Then players go out to fulfill NPC needs, most of which involve driving to specific locations to either steal something and escape, or kill a group of enemies and then escape. Each main character has his own storyline that has to be followed to complete the game. That is the boiled down version. The game also has special heist missions that are multi-tiered and can be effectuated in a variety of ways. Heists need to be prepared for. This involves scoping out the joint, taking note of security, and then obtaining the necessary items like unregistered weapons, the getaway vehicle, uniforms, and more. Players choose from one of two ways to execute the mission and can handpick the crew based on their experience level and how big of a cut they want out of the final haul. During the action, players can swap between the three main characters. Sometimes the game automatically switches between the three, so players sample the best parts of the action. Sometimes players manually switch to gain an advantage over the enemy. Mission completion is rated very similarly to the Ballad of Gay Tony, where players are judged on accuracy, speed, and fulfillment of optional objectives. The heists themselves are fun, fast-paced, and delightfully nerve-wracking because a large paycheck is at stake. Money is much more useful in GTA 5 than it has been in past games in the series. You can use it to beef up or beautify your favorite cars stored in your garage, customize your ordnance, or pay for flying lessons, entertainment, and more. Money is also harder to come by. Missions don't automatically dole out allowances upon completion. In fact, most don't pay anything at all. Outside of a few missions that pay a paltry sum, you can increase your cash by properly investing it, or you can stick up convenience stores, mug civilians, or if you're lucky, find an armored car and try to steal its contents, the latter of which is significantly harder than it has been in past GTA games and automates a near-immediate police response. Shooting is third-person sticky cover-based, and health very slowly regenerates to the 50% mark. Your arsenal is laid out Red Dead Redemption style, where guns are set in a selection wheel with multiple choices for each item in the wheel. Your selection of weapons is huge, ranging from miniguns to silenced pistols, without a dud in the bunch, all of which are customizable. Driving has seen an overhaul. Each car and vehicle has its own unique feel that changes depending on which enhancements you install. While airborne, and you will spend a good amount of time with your wheels off the ground, players can control the vehicle manually to ensure an ideal landing and not become a slave to the game's physics, giving you an advantage during car chases. Bicycles are back, which are a blast to take onto the halfpipe, or if you go off-roading in the mountains. Planes also make a return, ranging from biplanes to fighter jets. You can also explore the world using boats, helicopters, and a small submersible. The map itself is nothing short of incredible. From the south, it starts as a busy industrial port, changing slowly to low, then high-income urban sprawl, then to rolling hills, to desert, to mountains, to wooded rural areas with smaller towns, and it's all surrounded by one of the most beautifully rendered oceans we've ever seen in a video game. Even the waves feel like a technical achievement of their own, and the underwater depths have their own nooks and crannies to explore, complete with sharks to avoid. To put it simply, there is a ton to do within GTA 5, and exactly what you do is up to the player. The acting is above average across the board, with Michael and Franklin's actors delivering the best performances out of the bunch. Trevor is the most memorable of the three main characters, but his motivation and personality is uneven at best. One moment he is slaughtering anyone who is standing in his way, the next moment he's empathetic and wants to rescue his estranged friend's daughter from embarrassment on a reality television singing competition. By the end of the game, he evens out, but at times he feels like the character who is crazy simply for the sake of having a wacky character. The story holds its own throughout, but it's not the strongest in the series. Breaking Bad, it is not. In fact, the ending is rushed, which feels like an odd thing to say after playing the game for dozens of hours to complete it. But after you finish the biggest heist of your career, the game punches out its campaign sloppily, tying up loose ends in one fell swoop instead of articulating complex ways to solve your crew's rather complex problems. But for the most part, players will enjoy seeing the dynamics of the crew evolve from the beginning of the story to the end. One of our biggest complaints about the game is its frame rate, which overall doesn't feel very high. It falls dangerously low while quickly turning in high-speed chases, and it's especially noticeable when taking the submarine to the water's surface. Though the game has not been officially announced to release on any additional consoles at the time of this review, we would love to see it come in higher resolution with improved frame rate if the game is brought to the PC, the Xbox One, or the PlayStation 4. Our final complaint is the music. Rockstar has always picked outstanding tracks for all their games that not only sound great, but precisely encapsulate the time period and setting. Their on-air talk shows and DJ personalities were always entertaining enough to listen to on their own. Not this time. The talk radio jokes fall a little bit flat. The DJ personalities aren't as zany as they once were, especially the monotone Kenny Loggins, who hosts the loosely defined rock channel, which only plays what The Simpsons refer to as crap rock or wuss rock, save for a few tracks by Queen and Stevie Nicks. There is no hard rock channel. There is no metal channel. Kind of odd coming from a company called Rockstar. We spent most of our time in the rap, pop, and hip-hop channels, all of which had better track selections, but again, don't do as good of a job as capturing the essence of the time period as past GTA games. All things considered, those minor inequities aren't enough to spoil the experience. The frame rate, while it is the worst offender, can be adapted to. The radio can be turned off, and the game is entertaining enough without the story needing to be penned by Shakespeare, Homer, or Ovid. We spent dozens of hours simply exploring, interacting with random NPC encounters, playing sports, flying planes through daring locations, and basically making our own story, which is what makes open-world games so great. The ability to make it your own. We love so much about the game. The map, the car models, the deep levels of customization, the heart-pumping action, the freedom. While some may consider the GTA formula to be growing a little bit stale, we think GTA 5 is a great game to say farewell to the 7th console generation.